Hello everyone, this is Zukumani here, and today we're going to look at the Mists of Pandaria PTR servers, and we're going to take a close look at the Brawl'gar Arena, or as the Alliance know it, the Brawlers Guild. Now, this is a new 1v1 arena style event where players pit themselves up against NPCs, basically. Kind of think of them as I do. I think of them as the world rares that you sort of see around these days. You know, everywhere you go in Pandaria, there's always these rares about. They have similar mechanics, but these mechanics are very, very brutal. As you're about to find out from this first video here, this first bit of footage. I go in not expecting what to happen, haven't researched anything, haven't watched anyone, and get one shot. Now, that's just me being silly. I wasn't prepared for it. So here we go, going to have a look at it again. This boss here, he does like a little charge effect. If you're standing within that zone, it is a one-shot. You can't cauterize out of it. You can't do anything out of it. So you just need to avoid that. Keep movement up high and just make sure you do a lot of damage to the boss, and that's about it. It starts off very easy at first, but as it gradually goes along and your ranking starts to increase within the Brawlers Guild, then you start doing much harder fights within this place. Now, I only got myself to rank 4, I believe, before I had to quit for the day, and I tried to log on today, but the servers were down, PTR servers were down for 7 hours of maintenance or something crazy like that. This next guy you might remember, he's from the old Scarlet Graveyard, I believe. He's a torturer in there. And now, gotta love PTR here, new characters. Key bindings are all shot. Press shift 2, shift 4 by accident, you know, and completely mess up my bars there. So I thought I was going to die here, but I managed to bring out my clones. I managed to get as much DPS as I could on him. For a mage and for other classes like hunters, anything with a pet really, like shamans as well, anything that you can bring out that takes the attention away from you is a major advantage when it comes to this thing. And also self-healing is a big thing as well. I use it on a couple of occasions throughout these fights where I actually use my Evocate as a heal. Now there are other abilities that I could grab which could also heal me, but I never really got to that stage, let's say. When this actually goes live, I'll be able to look at it a lot closer and decide what's best. Okay, so this is a slime boss. Like most slime bosses, as you do damage to them, they start to spawn more ads. Now, the key focus here is you just focus down the main boss. As soon as he dies, all the ads despawn. I see a lot of people while watching this, while waiting for my turn in queue, try to attack the other ads as well, just to sort of DPS them down, but you really don't have to. You just focus down the main guy, and once he dies, it's all over. It's a very simple fight, very easy, shouldn't be a challenge for anyone really. Alrighty, the next boss are 5 little gnomes. They're actually leper gnomes. Every bit of damage that they do to you puts a little dot on you. That increases exponentially. Didn't really hurt too much. I think I got like 10, maybe 15 stacks at most, and it was sticking for about 10k, but you can imagine if they're wailing on you the whole time and you don't burn them down one by one, then you're going to have a bit of a hard time. The dot may actually tick for a lot more when it goes live, but as of right now, it's quite easy, quite simple to do. Just sort of DPS them down and focus them down. I'm spreading my dots as I do with combustion spreading and also my living bomb, and that's about it. Very simple stuff. As these fights go on, as you get higher up, there's a lot more involved, especially Millhouse Manastorm. When I saw that guy, he is quite tough, and there's quite an interesting mechanic you need to do to beat him. Speaking about interesting mechanics, this is Battletron. Now, he's actually casting an ability right now, which brings out these little orbs around him. Now, if you attack him when these orbs are up, they actually explode and do damage to you. The trick to this fight is you need to stand in between the new opening that you've created. Like, you see how the bomb's destroyed there? We're going to run in between and just going to cast, just only casting while in there. If you cast on any of the other outer edge, then they'll explode and one-shot you, basically. If you get hit by too many at once, it's game over. Okay, next boss to come out. There's actually 2 of them. There's a little, I think a goblin riding on a bigger ogre. You just need to DPS down the ogre. I actually set the other guy to a focus target so I could dot him up as well. This mechanic here, you need to get out of these bombs ASAP. Because I'm a mage, I just blink out, but other classes will have to actually move in between the gaps and get out of there. They have a short delay, probably about 15 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and then they explode for a heavy amount of damage. And if you're standing in there, it's probably going to be a one-shot. So I bring out my clone so that gets a bit of brunt off me so I can stand still and just start DPSing, kill the big guy, and then when the big guy is done, the little guy just throws all these little bombs around, as you can see, exploding. You just simply avoid them and then just DPS him down. Simple as that. Alrighty, this boss. Now, this one's quite interesting. He has a very funny debuff on him that he loses balance when he takes damage. So every time you damage him, he slips over, basically. If you don't do that, if you let him get to you and he casts his attack called Peck, it hits for a heavy amount of damage, and for a clothy it can kill you. So what you need to do is you just need to DPS him hard, just making sure that you're constantly doing some form of damage to him, and then it's as simple as that. Very easy fight, even for a melee class. Next boss coming up. Now, if you ever seen Sulfuron in Molten Core back in the day, you'll know exactly what this guy does. So he does a rain of fire. It's called a firewall, what he calls it. And you see that small gap. I'm not sure if you noticed, there's a small little gap where you can run through to get out of it. If you're in melee class, you need to get the hell out of there straight away. As for me, I'll just blink out of there. You know, mages have OP abilities. I can sort of do that for them. If you get hit by it, though, you get a debuff on you that increases fire damage. So that next time when it happens, you get one shot. Alrighty, now we got a big bug from Silithus. These things, he doesn't do too much damage. His major attack is that big cleave. Now if you get hit by that, it is a one shot. It's much like the Annihilate that we're seeing from the Spirit Kings. You need to just get out of it ASAP. So I found the trick of doing this is to just let him melee me down. Don't try and like get too far away from him, because if you're too far away and you hesitate for a moment, then that cleave is going to kill you. It has a very, very short cast time, so you just need to stay close to the boss, let him wail on you, and just DPS him as hard as you can, being sure to move through him when the ability happens. I've got to say, all these fights, they're very, very fun. I can't wait for this to go live and see what else they have to offer. Now this is by far the greatest boss ever. It is a shark with a laser beam on his head, with a dinosaur, a T-Rex, riding him, and some undead playing a guitar on top of him. It is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and amazing fight. So what happens is a lot of AoE damage. As you can see, all those little sparklies on the ground, just avoid them. Try not to get hit by them at all. And also that laser beam, which is channeled, I think it's called Destruction, I think it's called. Just make sure that you're constantly getting out of that. He does an ability, which is this one, which is the constant knockback. It doesn't do too much damage, just that when you land, just make sure that you keep avoiding all those little bombs on the ground, those little mines, I think they are. And it's an easy, easy win for you after that. I've got to say, this is the best fight I've seen so far. I have seen a few other fights, especially the Cthulhu fight. I've seen that, I haven't tried it myself yet, but that one looks even more intense than this one. Okay, so this is, think of Sethic Halls, think of anywhere where these little creatures were from BC. He generates a tornado, as you can see. Now, the tornado, the path of the tornado generally avoids the big squares in the middle. It can be varied, as you can see here. It sort of just follows me around and hits me. If you ever get hit by it, if you have a silence, you need to throw it on the boss ASAP, because he will basically shoot his lightning bolt at you at a faster cast rate, meaning that you'll take more damage and you'll basically die in the air. I got very lucky there and a tornado spawned on him, which knocked him up in the air, which helped me out greatly, because I was able to evocate and get my health back. Other than that, yeah, it's just basically kiting the tornadoes into him, and then if you do get hit by a tornado and get up in the air, you need to silence him or interrupt him in some way possible. I know some classes don't really have that luxury, but I'm sure there's other ways around it. Now, this next boss is basically a mage. Every time it attacks, it generates, or every time it gets attacked, it generates another little ad. Now, these ads only have 1 HP, so it's as simple as just Arcane Explosion or anything that sort of does an AoE effect. It doesn't have to hit hard, you know, 1 HP, it's not that hard to sort of kill it. I noticed melee, when I watched some melee do this, they actually had a bit of a hard time just because they're so spread out. It was hard to get them all, but their damage on you only seems to be about 4-5k per cast. For myself, I just AoE them down when they got a bit too crazy, and just focused all my DPS on the boss as hard as I could, and got combustion up, and then it was an easy win. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, melee may have a bit of a trouble with that, but for myself it wasn't too hard. And there we go, guys. That is the Brawlers Guild, or the Brawl'gar Arena as the Horde know it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've ever been around on my channel before, back when Rift was happening, I did a lot of commentary videos. It's something that I really miss and enjoy doing. I just lost track of time, you know, with work and everything like that, starting a new job, now moved over to New Zealand. There's just lots of things happening at the moment, so I need to find more time to sort of start producing these videos. I have a lot of challenge mode footage that I would like to generate into commentary videos, so I think that's where my channel is going to be going from here on out, as including other things that are going to be coming up, our raid videos, anything like that. If you have any suggestions or comments down below, please just leave them. Like it if you like this, and my name is Zukumani. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.